Yep, and you're right. And it's two different systems, and they don't take care of you guys at all. And then you're sworn to these secrecies, which I believe is why we've had so many wars in this world because people aren't allowed to speak up for the truth. That once you guys have been controlled or told to take orders, and then you find yourself in these foreign countries, doing God knows what to people, and in your mind you're saying, I know this can't be right, but I'm here, I got to do what I'm being told, or else there are going to be consequences, down to me being thrown in jail or ostracized by my co-workers who think I'm weak, even though they probably feeling like, damn, I wish I had the balls to do what he's doing, and stuff like that. So I'm definitely there. I'm, like I said, I'm all over it in terms of fighting for human rights, because what I've been blessed with, and what I see is nothing but a world that's in crises. And if we don't do something, we're gonna erupt. I mean, it's worse than what the average person knows. If you're only getting news from the TV, then you're only living like a quarter of a page of an entire book. Huh? And so most people, then the things that we need to be talking about, people don't want to talk about it. The money thing, the religious thing, these are things that affect us. Like, we gotta be the government. Who's running who now? After they done shot up all these people, did you get the vaccination? You did? How did you feel afterwards? Hmm. Hmm. And then they come out to say you don't need it, or they're not mandatory unless you work for the federal government. See, I just don't know. And I'm happy for you that you haven't had any issues, but I've been in talks where, you know, without me being vulgar, but that the man is, his thing ain't working right anymore, and it's producing all kinds of stuff, and families are breaking up, and there was mix with tests and whether somebody's positive and negative. So it's a lot of cover up there too. And it's like, now, do we have COVID or do we not still have COVID anymore? I don't know. It's like they don't. Because it's almost like it didn't happen in a way, kind of, sort of, but life has changed drastically for us. It's not the same. So you see, in passing, you see how we can now you can possibly share that with him because I know you know that if y'all JoJo ain't working, then that's gonna create a mental illness. All kinds of different stuff is gonna come out of that. So I definitely hope that you share that with him. And because that's something I picked up on, I go on this app called the Clubhouse app, and there's all kinds of talks for people around the world. Yeah, all kinds of subject. I mean, you'll run into from business to just personal development to music group to art, any and everything. But it's a audio app, so you don't have to. You can be just like in your car or washing dishes or whatever, listening. And if you want to talk or ask questions, you raise your hand and you can get up on the stage and all of that. But yeah, that's what I heard. That a lady, one night it was late, and the guy just said, "I got to ask the lady a question." She said, ever since, have you and your husband been having issues? And it was like she was stunned because she had just had the conversation with her husband the night before and he was having issues. And then another lady say she witnessed like I guess you call it's not ejaculation, but it was coming like pus or something was coming out of the creamy pus or something was coming out of the penis, and some women was transferring it who snuck and went and did it and their husband didn't do it, and then they was transferring it. Some people said that they have HIV was involved in terms of things that are coming up now. So just keep your ears on the low as far as if because you might have a unassuming symptoms, and you may be fine. Because I do have friends that he went in with a great attitude. I think our mindset has a lot to do with it too. If we feel fearful, then you can cause things to your body chemistry to not act right. You get what I'm saying? But then there's that. But for you to say, you know what, my homeboy did mention that to me. Now you can go and drop something on him so he can at least have a peace of mind that he ain't crazy, and whatever help he need to do if he got to detox his body or something. You get what I'm saying? To try to see if he can reverse whatever he got going on. But I don't suggest going to the doctor with your problem because they don't know. He probably needs to go to some kind of holistic wellness person that can look at his total blood. You get what I'm saying? That they look at you different than what the doctors they look at us based on what the insurance will pay. They don't treat the whole person. Yeah. So you want to just tell him that, and I'll definitely just send a prayer up that at least he's aware of his body had changed, and maybe if he hasn't figured out that it could be tied to that vaccine and what he possibly need to do. Cause if something ain't right, then that means his self esteem is going downhill. Cause he don't feel super. Don't y'all feel superhuman? But you see how the universe work out of the blue. Me and you just talking, and I just happened to share a story that triggered something in you. That's how God really works with all of us, and we need to take heed to that because we don't know who gonna be the deliverer of the message of the day or something. A good idea or whatever. So I'm definitely gonna hold him in a space that if he's not well, that he could find, peace with that, because I can only imagine the downward spiral that can happen when you feel like you've lost control of that one thing that gives us power to produce, huh? So it was so nice talking with you. So Marcel, I'm Kimberly. I'm the owner here. I live here in Fayetteville, so you can definitely call me if you want to chit chat, if you feel warm and fuzzy. But other than that, I'm here to serve you and your family, and just let me know what else I can do. And then if your friend is if he needs some like alternative like when you talk to him, I have a lady. Actually, I'll send you her website, Peggy. She might be able to do some biofeedback on him or some alternative healing. I'll just send you her website. So just in case he wants to, at least maybe go the natural route or, try to figure out how can he, if there's something there, how can he get the metals out of his body or whatever they put in there. Because the other thing is, too, we don't know what batch is what. So you could have gotten a good batch of a brand and he could have gotten, you see, we don't know the truth behind the statistics and what's really happening. Right. Plus, your blood chemistry and his is different. There's no one size fit all healthcare. Everybody is individual because we all may have different challenges or different DNA markers that could, make somebody cancerous or not make somebody cancerous. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is why I'm fighting for universal healthcare because this hodgepodge stuff ain't working. You can look at everybody and see we diseased and we sick. Therefore, we can't be mentally well. Okay, good. Because that would be good, inclusive of having what I call preventative and regenerative. Because, like, there's things that I was doing prior to COVID in the medical field. I had a medical ancillary company. Like, there's DNA. Let's just say you can get injections, cell injections in your knees to regrow, like, your cartilages and stuff like that, so you don't have to have knee surgery. Or if a person has ulcers, like from diabetes ulcers, you know how the reason why the insurance companies are choosing to amputate because that's the cheapest, when in actuality they can be infusing new cells into those areas and allowing the body to heal itself. But if people aren't aware that there are alternatives that we have to fight for, then they settle up, settle in and yeah, and that's what happened with my girlfriend Peggy. Her brother just recently died after getting an amputee. So yes, I'm just speaking about a better world that I see. I got to. Somebody have to do it because everybody's like, it's always been that way. Well, why? Well, who gonna change it? We got babies, we got legacies we have to build. So, anyways, honey, I'll talk you to death. I got to get down this list. Yes, this is our local number. Yes, you can call me on it. It goes both to me and Peggy's line, but I pick up primarily, and she pick up the 800 number. And we've been displaced out of our office temporarily, so I'm just making sure I didn't miss any calls. So I'm trying to go back at least a week. How old are these young people? Wow, she got a big old heart. And she's still taking care of these baby kids. But they lucky to have a older wise grandmother like figure in their life. Maybe that'll help them much better when they transition into the public system. I sat on the school board, and it's not even the kids, it's the parents that they picked up on. I had one kid basically sexually touch my son, and my son came home to tell me, and I knew that he was telling the truth because he hadn't even looked at me and said, "Mommy, why are we different?" Like, so he was really innocent and hadn't really been there, and they tried to cover it up and everything. They don't want to lose their funding. That's another big issue. Nobody want to lose their funding, so they cover up abuse, and they don't want people start digging into practice, their business or their practices, so they keep it under the rug. Oh, they young. So she don't know for sure. A peace of mind. Everybody can. Or if you gonna put it online, you don't care about what other people think. But if you putting it online, you need to be figuring out how you gonna be a content creator, so Instagram and Facebook can pay you to be a star out there instead of being a fool. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't want people to look down on the internet because that's a part of my technology that I've invented, but it has its power in its place in both ways. You get what I'm saying? Like, it can destroy you, but hell, we can start a whole global movement because you and I can be talking in seconds and you could be in Germany, So it has its power. But the young people have to find out all of how to make money with the internet, because that's a real thing where young people 24, 25 years old are internet marketers making millions, living a life. Like, what are you gonna do? And I mean, and even if your niece, if your sister, if you want me to talk to her, cause I'm a realist, and maybe even get in her head, what you gonna do? Because the whole thing is the baby is coming, and now she really don't have a lot of time before life as she know it is gonna be up over. You got that right about a little stepping stone, because from what I gather, I've been given the gift of unscrambling all the languages of the world. And from what I could see is that we under a spell, a word spell. And like I said, I would love to talk to her because I quit high school. I was very insecure about reading. And now, on the flip side of the blessing that has been given to me, that I can basically woke up one day and able to look at words and see words as images, and I can do that with any language. But what I realize is that we came from a preferred stock, so to speak. And our language has been changed. So therefore, if you can even compare our ancestors and what they did, if you really dig into history, they were far advanced than we were. And so we have disintegrated to a certain degree. And one of the things that I want to do is go and really, and I try to encourage parents when I'm speaking to them, stop being hard on the kids that's struggling with reading and writing. It's because it's against their nature. And there's a different way that we have to learn. And if your niece is struggling, if she can just get through high school, or if that's going to be the case, just go get her GED. But she has to find something that she is going to do that is, as far as I'm concerned, she need to be working from home, and she need to be raising her own child and not putting the child. And so maybe I can talk to her about some ideas, maybe a certificate program where she can become, even right now, what you call an internet marketer, where they you market for companies. You know, you go out, you answer their social media, you interact with their audience. Like, there's real things that people can do from home now, working from home, various types of admin jobs, things like that. That if she just apply herself when the baby is sick, maybe take a couple of online certificate programs and just try to find it, because when you going out the house making $8 to $10 an hour, there's no money. There's no money. And then you too tired when you come home to do anything, and your quality of life with your child is greatly diminished. So my goal would be, if she's smart enough, maybe I can get her to help me with something. I don't know. We can talk. But if you want me to, this is the kind of person that I am, because maybe I can relate to her, because I can tell her, you know what? I got pregnant at 19 years old. I chose to have an abortion. But guess what? 20 years almost to the day, I got pregnant again. And both times I was using protection. Was that God? You know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I Oh, really? Really? So were you an instant dad? You got the family mom helped you, blase, squaze. I get it, but you was considered a single dad. Oh, that just makes my heart warm. I'm so happy. I love hearing stories like this because it's a great flip, and I usually empower the dads when the moms are being real stupid. I tell them how to have a one up on her. You got to outthink that chick, cause this what she thinking like, cause y'all don't know what we be thinking like. She's 10 miles ahead of you, screaming. Huh? Wow. Wow. Yeah. That's why I can't believe that people can walk away. And even when you get older, you think that you change. My neighbor just told me just yesterday that somebody that he thought was his cousin, he just found out yesterday that that's his sister. And he said, Miss Kim, I had done touched on her stuff. And I was just like, and she said, do you realize that we brothers and sisters? And he said, I just looked at her in her face and I can see my dad. In all these years, I never knew. And the man died and never told them the truth. Yep. So I don't know, all kinds of stuff going on around here these days. But anyways, um, if you want to, you can talk to you. Hold on, I done put a piece of chocolate in my mouth. But if you feel comfortable and say, you know what, I met a young lady who's gonna be doing your DNA test. I don't know. She might be like, I don't want to talk to nobody and just she didn't discipline her like she disciplined her own children because almost like that fear that the state would have stepped in and took the child or put an investigation on you. I get it. And it empowers you out to deal with abuse or bad behavior when you would normally have backslapped a person and made them go sit down in the corner somewhere. And what she do, she just laugh at you. Yeah. Mhm. Wow. And it's so ignorant and they don't realize how it's I was telling a little baby yesterday. I say, little baby, you better stay a little baby because I remember what I was saying. Oh, I can't wait till I be grown till the bills came. Well, honey, you gonna have an attitude adjustment the day that baby come and it start crying and she ain't intuitively figured out yet how to make it shut up. And y'all should make her suffer. Don't make it easy for her.